Today is going to be a very personal and intimate type of video because I'm going to talk about my birth story. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hope you guys enjoy the content. So this video is going to be very personal and raw because I'll be talking about my unexpected birth story and basically what went down and all that jazz. So it's been about 2 months since I filmed anything for this channel because about 10 weeks ago I unexpectedly went into labor. Yeah, so into early labor, and I gave birth to the most handsome little baby boy. But yeah, he was born at 29 weeks, which is like 11 weeks early. So yeah, that was a lot. I'm gonna look at a few notes here so I don't forget anything because a lot happened, okay? Okay, so the 16th of September was his estimated due date, but he came in 11 weeks early and he was admitted into NICU at Midland Hospital, and he was there for 42 days. And yeah, that was the most trying time of my life because I had to go to hospital every single day and be with him in NICU, and yeah, like just seeing him in the little incubator and everything was really like tough. And I honestly think I got my strength from God because literally when I look back, I don't even know how I did everything I did. Like, I think I was just on autopilot, really. Yeah, so it has been like a very challenging period of my life, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because it's been amazing. Yeah, so if you're interested in knowing how my birth story went down, let's get right into it. So my pregnancy, first of all, was super smooth, like literally no cravings, no food aversions, no, like I wasn't sleepy all the time, I wasn't nauseous, literally all the things that people say they go through when they're pregnant. I didn't have anything. I think I was nauseous like twice and it lasted for like maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And I remember because I was waiting, I was like, I wonder if or when I'm gonna get like sick to my stomach type of thing. So yeah, my pregnancy was super smooth. It was such a breeze. First trimester, second trimester, and then I was even counting down to like the third trimester. And let me actually even show you guys. This was the last thing I took a picture with. The last picture I took. And then week 29, I forgot to like put these like cool image thingies. So yeah, I've kept this. I haven't changed it since giving birth, but it's been insane. So I'm just gonna look through my journal and kind of like tell you guys what I went through because it was a lot. So on the 3rd of July, which was a Sunday, I was watching Formula 1 because somebody's son has made me start watching Formula 1. So I was actually watching Formula 1, sitting at my living room and, you know, minding my business. Went to the bathroom. I felt like kind of like a trickle of something that wasn't pee, but it wasn't like a gush. It was just like a little bit. So I was like, oh, that's odd. Anyways, got up, went to the kitchen to grab something to drink, and then I feel like my pants are a bit wet. And I was like, what's going on? And I wasn't too sure. Like, I literally thought that my bladder was getting weak because I was pregnant and everything. So I went back to the toilet, and then I just keep hearing like drops of water coming out, but I wasn't peeing. So I was like, okay, that's concerning. Let me call the midwives. So I called the midwives at Medland. I say, fluid is coming out of my body, but it's not bloody or anything, it's just clear. So they're like, okay, come right away to get a checkup. And they were like, are you with somebody? I was like, no, literally I wasn't, because I was home alone. So I drove myself to the hospital. I just carried like my handbag, literally just my handbag. Went there in like my slides, leggings, all that. Like, I was going there just to get checked and go back home. So I even put, obviously I locked the doors and everything, turned off the TV, but like it was almost 5 p.m. So I was like, oh, I'll probably be back in an hour. It's nothing to worry about. So I go to the hospital, they check me, they put me on a pulse monitor. And they literally put me in the same room that they had showed me, I think like 2 weeks before all of it happened. So that was interesting, because they were showing me where I was supposedly going to give birth, but like in 2 months from July, you know? Oh no, it was actually done in June. So like 3 months from the time they showed me the room is when I was supposed to be in that room. But lo and behold, it was 2 weeks later. So at least I was familiar with the place. So yeah, they gave me a cannula, and they said they have to put in medication every hour for, was it 24 hours or more? I don't know. I think it was every hour for 24 hours, so that there's no, so that I don't have contractions, or contractions don't start, because basically the baby was really small and they were trying to keep him in my stomach for as long as possible, at least up to 32 weeks is what they said. Yeah, so they told me that, oh, the fluid that was coming out is amniotic fluid. And they told me that I had to be on complete bed rest until until 32 weeks, or until the baby decides to come, like after that. So they were trying their best to keep the baby inside. So they're like, you need complete bed rest. And I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to have bed rest for like 11 weeks? That's insane. But they gave me that medication through the cannula, and then they also had to give me the most painful injection I've ever had in my life. Injections. I think there was like 4 of them in a space of 12 hours. But that was for like to strengthen the baby's lungs, and that one they couldn't put through the cannula. They had to jab me on the booty. So they gave me 4 injections to strengthen the baby's lungs before, like basically they kept him until I was done with the contraction medication, the lung medication, so that he has a higher chance of survival if he decides to come out, basically. But weirdly enough, I didn't have contractions when I got there, but my water had broken. So that's what the fluid was. And it's not like in the movies where like it's a gush and then you look down and like, no, it's literally like just trickles, like trickling. Like I thought I had peed on myself. Monday came and went, but literally that Monday felt like the longest Monday. Tuesday came and went. And they were just monitoring my my draining, basically, because the fluid draining hadn't stopped. So my water broke and the amniotic fluid was still flowing out. So they were a bit concerned about that, because they were like, if a lot comes out, usually it stops on its own, but if it doesn't, then obviously they'll either have to induce me or cut me open and get the baby out. So after all those injections on Tuesday, I was told that I can't go home until Wednesday, because like they just wanted to monitor me for a little while longer. So, and they had told me, like, I had obviously started Googling everything. I was officially in PROM, which means premature rupture of membranes. Also, just as a side note, I'm so thankful for my little tribe of friends and family. So many people who came to see me at the hospital, even if it was still like COVID was starting to peek through again and stuff. They came even just to peep. Some were calling me, like, just to check up on me and everything. Really made a difference. It kept my spirits high. And yeah, I was very, very happy about that. So at like 2 p.m. on Wednesday, which was the day I was supposed to be discharged, I was chatting to my mom and my sister, and I even watched a few things on my laptop, and then they told me that I'll be discharged in the evening. They were just waiting for the doctor to come and do their rounds, and then I can go home. So when I was about to be discharged, literally, I just asked the doctor, I was like, could I please get, what's it called? Not a CAT scan. Could I please get an ultrasound? I literally just insisted. I was like, could I just get an ultrasound quickly before I go? And when she did the ultrasound, she was like, oh, I'm glad you requested an ultrasound, because I'm not seeing that many pockets of fluid. So basically, you've drained a lot, and I don't think that the baby can stay in there for longer than today, basically. And so I went to the bathroom. This is when I started panicking. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm literally going to be in labor. I haven't prepared anything. Obviously I had started buying like a few items here and there, but like literally I had just painted the nursery like a week before. So I was like, oh my goodness. Went to the bathroom, and like I saw a little bit of blood as well. And this was like 6 p.m, like after they said they'll discharge me. So luckily I was still at the hospital. So at that time I was like, oh, shit's about to go down. Not in a good way. So I took my last pregnancy pics. I'm gonna post them right over here. That was me in the hospital. I had a very tiny tummy, actually. And at 8:30, they decided to put a fetal monitor around. So they put like something at the top and something like down at the bottom, just to check the baby's heartbeat and I think the contractions or something like that. So they put in the fetal monitor. Is it a fetal monitor? Yeah. And at like 8:30 p.m, that's when I started feeling things that I thought were farts, but were apparently contractions, because literally I would feel like I need to fart, and then I would fart, and then it would stop. So it was just like that, you know? And I was like, I told them, I was like, yeah, I just keep on having to fart. I don't know, I'm very gassy. So at that time, they were also monitoring my blood pressure, my heartbeat, and all that stuff. And then before the doctor left, they checked to see whether I was dilated, and I was actually 3 centimeters dilated. So I was actually in labor. I was actually having contractions, but I wasn't feeling the pain that people talk about. I guess it was because it was just the beginning, because it has to be like, what, 10 centimeters? So yeah, that's when I knew, like, oh crap, there's no way I'm going. This baby is gonna come out either tonight or tomorrow morning. But yeah, I was so unprepared. I was scared because my mom wasn't there. I called her, and literally she packed whatever she could pack, and she was on the first flight out of Uganda coming to Lusaka, and I love her for that so much. Love you, mommy. I just remember saying, this is not how I planned it, because I'm such a planner. I was like, I had planned to have a hospital bag full of everything I need for when I'm giving birth. I wanted to have nice braids. I wanted to have like cute pajamas, all those things, you know? And dololo. If I show you how I looked, guys. Hey. Anywho, I was like, you know what? Let's just get this baby out. But I was also nervous because I was on aspirin my whole pregnancy because my blood pressure was high before I got pregnant. So when they found out that I was pregnant, they put me on aspirin like right away. And then my blood pressure was like normal the whole pregnancy, which is why I'm saying, like, literally, I didn't have any complications at all in my pregnancy, at all. But they still said it was high risk because I had previously had high blood pressure. So anyways, I went into surgery around, is it, I don't know, 9:30 or 10, I'm not too sure. I think 10. I didn't really document that part, obviously, because it was stressful. And then it took a while for them to put the numbing spinal thing. Oh, first I was like, can you induce me? I really want to just like have a vaginal birth, blah, blah, blah. They were like, there's not enough amniotic fluid to push the baby out, so we're gonna have to do an emergency C-section. So, and I was just like, oh God, I hate pain. And I knew that they were gonna cut me open, and then I was gonna have to go through a few weeks of recovery. But I was like, you know what, we're already here. So they were trying to inject me on my spine for the epidural and for like numbing me the waist down, and they couldn't find, I don't know if they couldn't find a space or what, but like it was literally one of those things where I was screaming, but I had to be still because, like, obviously if you move your spine, something can break in there or like touch a nerve. So they were like, please be still. And I'm just like screaming. Literally, I wanted to just like bite something. It was so painful, even if they numbed the area before putting in the epidural needle. But it was, I think they spent about 15 minutes trying to get the right spot. Obviously, to my luck, they said parts of my spine had calcified, so that's why it was hard for them. I was just like, could this day get any worse? Like, could it really? Yeah, so once they finally did that, I begged them. I'm like, could I please play music whilst you guys are operating? They're like, okay, but it has to be right by your ear and not too loud. I was like, perfect. So I played music. I played music whilst they were doing the things, and I was busy singing along, literally singing along. It's so true that what they say, like, it's just pressure. You don't feel like the pain and everything. Obviously, that would be traumatic, but they allowed me to play music. And the two songs that got me through were these ones over here. And so baby boy was born at 10:58 p.m. on the 6th of July 2022, and he was tiny. He was 1.1 kgs. 1.1. Yeah, so obviously they told me usually like after a C-section they bring the baby right to the mom and the mom kisses the baby, then they take the baby away. But since he was so small, they rushed him straight to NICU. And like I was just like, you know, I was like, can I see him? So they went and they took a video, and they brought the video because it took like 45 minutes for them to like remove the placenta and the rest of the stuff. When I saw the little video, a tear ran down my eye whilst I was on the theater bed or whatever it's called. And like, it was just a beautiful moment, very different, something I didn't expect. But yeah, I was just yeah, I was really happy. It was like a surreal moment, you know, like I didn't even expect to cry, if that's weird, but yeah, like a tear came down my eye, and then I was like, oh, hi baby. Yeah. So once they were done with that, they explained to me that the anesthesia they gave me, or anesthetic, I don't know what it's called, I had to lay flat on my back for 12 hours. And if I tried to get up sooner than that, I would have an excruciating headache, which would only be cured with like 6 cups of strong coffee or more, like daily. So obviously I tried to stay still for 12 hours. I just slept until like 11 in the morning because they were done at 11. By the time I got to my room and it was midnight, I couldn't even move, so I just slept. They gave me like very painful injections on my thighs, trying to, I don't know if it was a painkiller, but yeah, they said it's a painkiller, but it also helps with like getting feeling back in my thighs, in my legs, or whatever. So when I got up on Thursday morning, my big sister Lula was there with me, and then like about 2 p.m. my mom and sister came, and yeah, like that same day I was allowed to go see him. So they took me on a wheelchair, took me to the NICU, and there he was, cute little baby, but with like all the tubes in the world. And I was just like, I don't know, I felt a sense of peace. I wasn't scared or anything at that moment. I just looked at him and I was like, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, but that was the beginning of a very long journey. So far, so good. He's been home for about a month now. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of my birth story. It has been, it was an amazing journey, even if it was cut short. And I was told that my baby shower was supposed to be like 2 weeks after I gave birth and everything. I couldn't even walk straight at that moment, so I was just like, bruh, it's cool. Yeah, it's been an amazing time so far as a new mom, and obviously I will be posting more mom content, #new mom things, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was me just sharing a piece of my life with you guys, and I will see you in my next video when I have the time and the energy, because the bags that have been covered by the foundation and concealer under these eyes are not Gucci, honey. They are not Gucci. They are heavy. Like, it's a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please do click the like button so that people who watch similar videos can this video can be suggested to them. Comment down below. Just send me positive vibes and good wishes, because it has been a very hectic 2 months of my life, 2.5 months. But we're here by God's grace. We're alive, we're healthy, and I have a healthy little baby boy. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.